I feel the DOI 250 is more of a stamp as where we were at 250 celebration. Where is our state of mind? Where we need to go from today and on. I think we need to appreciate our nation, the opportunities that has given us, and that's why we came here, either by choice or if your parents came when I was young, by coming with your parents, not knowing what this country was and is. However, he has given me an opportunity to grow, to get my education since elementary school, raise, get married, raise my kids here. So I'm very thankful. As a county, we had a meeting yesterday. We're all behind on what 250 is all about. But it shouldn't be just this one year. I think it should be more of every year of what our nation provides for us. And you know that in our country, civic education or social studies is not in the front. Is not something that something we need to do more about to educate more our kids and our children, our youth about the history of our nation. And I think that's where we are. I think it is something that we need to work on. What is Declaration of Independence? Why this nation was built? It is a young nation if you compare it to other nations. Very young. 250 is nothing. However, this nation is right now governs not just our nation but throughout the world. It has a stamp on many of the economical, political scene throughout the world. And I think that's where we need to be. And my job is to make sure that we ensure that our future leaders look more like what our nation is right now. And I think that's where we need to go. We need to not just go into STEM, but maybe and encourage them to go into politics, go into city officials, then county officials, state officials, then federal officials. And I think that's what we need to do. We need to have more commonality of everybody. And sometimes because of our motherlands, we have that disagreement of, of our past or our, where our parents or grandparents came from. But I think we have to step back and see where we are. We are Americans all together. But what does that mean? Is it accepted throughout everybody in our country? And I think that's what we're working on. That people see that Americans, the lining of America is not one color, one race, many colors, many race. I think that's what we need to understand and how we need to move forward from today and on. And I'm very thankful for Celine for bringing this up, bringing DOI 250. But it's more like it's a time capsule. It's a time capsule of where we are, what we have done, and where are we today, and where we need to go forward for tomorrow. I have very thick head and Ty knows that. So I need to listen more. But I think communication is very difficult. I think is not. You have to give up. You have to concede. You're making. I think this was right. We say, you know what? Maybe this is a different way. And as a parent, I think that's where I learned about listening because as a parent, you think this is the best way, but as your kids they get older and they get more mature, they have a different way of thinking. So now I have to conceive for my son, okay, maybe there might be a different way of approach. And it's hard, and that's not easy. And I think that's where we are today. And